What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing a Winged Dragon of Ra deck profile. So I'm really excited to see you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck summoning out one of the 3 legendary Egyptian god cards, the Winged Dragon of Ra. This deck can easily OTK your opponent with how massive you can make Ra, and it's just super fun to be able to play. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like in your name description every single video, getting us signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra. This card is an awesome 3-of, and is super cool to be able to OTK your opponent with a crazy powerful effect that it cannot be special summon and requires 3 tributes to normal summon this card, and it cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated, and when normal summoned, other cards and effects cannot be activated. And when this card is normal summoned, you can pay life points, so you only have 100 left, and this card gains attack and events equal to the amount that you pay. And you can also pay 1,000 life points to be able to target one monster on the field and destroy that target, which is a really awesome and powerful effect. We then play 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere Mode. This card is a definite 3-of in the deck and makes it super easy to summon out your copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra while also breaking your opponent's board, which is super cool because it has the ability it cannot be special summoned and requires 3 tributes from either side of the field to normal summon this card to that side of the field, and it cannot be normal set. Then shift control of this card to the owner during the end phase of the next turn, and it can't attack, and your opponent cannot target this card for attacks or by card effects. And you can tribute this card to be able to special summon out the Winged Dragon of Ra from your hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, and if you do, its attack and defense becomes 4,000 and extra style points if you know the chant, which is just super cool. We then play a single copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra Immortal Phoenix. Immortal Phoenix is super easy to bring out to your side of the field, and it's just a really cool card to be able to put on the field, and it's really easy to get out, especially with your copies of the True Sun God. This card is absolutely massive at 4,000, and is just a really cool 1-of. We then play 3 copies of Guardian Slime. Guardian Slime is a really awesome card in this particular deck to be able to summon out your copy of Egyptian God Slime, but it has some super cool effects that if you take battle or effect damage, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can make this card gain defense equal to that opponent's monster's attack during that damage calculation only. And if this card is sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard, you can add a spell or trap from your deck to your hand that specifically lists the card the Winged Dragon of Ra in its text, which is really good to be able to search out cards like the True Sun God, or even cards like your copies of Ancient Chant, which is just really good in this particular deck. We then play 3 copies of Ra's Disciple. Ra's Disciple is a new addition to this particular deck that I've just included recently, and I really like this card as a 3-of in this particular deck because it has the ability, when this card is summoned, you get to special summon up to 2 more Ra's Disciples from your hand or deck, and they cannot be tributed except for the tribute summon of Slifer, Obelisk, or Ra, and you can't special summon monsters except by the effect of Ra's Disciple while it's on the field. I really like this card because with Ancient Chant, it instantly gets you your copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra, which is really good to just instantly get it out on the field. We then play 3 copies of Reactor Slime. Reactor Slime is one of the best cards in the entire deck and one of my favorite cards to normal summon out to the field because during your main phase you can activate this effect to special summon 2 slime tokens to your side of the field that are Aqua Water, level 1, 500 attack, and 500 defense, and also you cannot normal summon or special summon monsters for the rest of the term except Divine Beast monsters, which is not that big of a deal because you're trying to basically put those slime tokens on your side of the field so you can tribute out the Winged Dragon of Ra. It also has a really good effect to get your copy of Metal Reflect Slime because during the battle phase, quick effect, you can tribute this card to set a Metal Reflect Slime from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and it can be activated this turn, which is a great effect to just instantly set that card to your side of the field and then make an Egyptian God Slime. We then play 3 copies of my personal tech for the deck, and that's going to be 3 copies of Tellus the Little Angel. This card is really good as a 3-of in the deck because this card helps you out a lot to be able to get tokens on your side of the field. Because if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, then you can special summon out one Tellus the Wing Angel token that's a fairy light level 1 0 attack and 0 defense. And then while you control a Tellus Wing token, you can banish this card from your graveyard and any spell from your hand to be able to special summon out 2 more tokens to your side of the field, which is really good to just instantly get you 2 more tokens on the field to be able to tribute out the Winged Dragon of Ra. You can just normal summon this card out to your side of the field, link it away for a copy of Alamirage, give yourself a token, banish a spell from your hand and this card from the grave, and give yourself 2 more tokens to tribute out the Winged Dragon of Ra with cards like Ancient Champ, which makes it really easy to get Ra on the field. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a key combo piece in this deck because it works with so many other cards in this particular build, especially cards like Millennium Revelation, so it's a definite 1-of in the deck. We're then playing a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. We're trying to OTK the opponent, so dealing with our opponent's back row is just really good with this for this particular deck, so this card is a definite 1-of in the build. We're then playing a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good as a 1-of in this deck to make sure that we're not getting a hand trap while we're going in for all of our plays. We then play a single copy of Blaze Cannon. Blaze Cannon is extremely powerful and basically gives Ra bonus effects, which is just really cool to make it more like the anime version of the Winged Dragon of Ra. It has the ability that the Winged Dragon of Ra that you control gains the following effects until the end of the turn. And this card's activation cannot be negated. It gives it 3 powerful effects that this card is unaffected by opponent's card effects. When an attack is declared involving this card, you contribute any number of other monsters that did not declare an attack this turn, and this card gains attack equal to the treated monster's combined attack, original attack, until the end of the turn. And after damage calculation, if this card did attack, you can send all monsters that your opponent controls to the graveyard, which is really insane. We then play a single copy of Millennium Revelation. Millennium Revelation is really an awesome combo piece to work with your copy of Monster Reborn, but you really only need a single copy of this card because it's super searchable. We then play 3 copies of the True Sun God. The True Sun God is an extremely powerful card that's basically a Rhoda for the deck, that when this card is activated, you get to add the Winged Dragon of Ra or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, except the True Sun God. And monsters except the Winged Dragon of Ra cannot attack this turn. They are special summon, and once per turn, during your main phase, you can send this card from the field or the Winged Dragon of Ra Immortal Phoenix from your deck to the graveyard, then send the Winged Dragon of Ra from your monster zone to the graveyard, which is a great effect to actually do because it makes it so you can actually summon out your copy of Immortal Phoenix to your side of the field, which is just super cool about this card. This card is a definite 3-of in the deck because it's essentially Rhoda and gets your copy of Immortal Phoenix, which is really good. We then play 3 copies of Soul Crossing, which essentially turns your Winged Dragon of Ra into a kaiju, which is just really cool because basically during the main phase, immediately this card resolves, you contribute 1 Divine Beast monster. When you do, you contribute monsters that your opponent controls, even though you do not control them. But you, until the end of the next turn, after this card resolves, you can only activate 1 more card effect, not counting the effect of Divine Beast monsters, which is not that big of a deal because you're basically just summoning out the Winged Dragon Raw with this card and board wiping your opponent so that you can go in for game. We then play 3 copies of Ancient Champ, which is basically like 3 more copies of Rhoda for the deck, which is really cool because it lets you add the Winged Dragon of Ra from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and if you do, you contribute 1 monster during your main phase this turn in addition to your normal summoner set, and you can gain this effect only once per turn. You can also banish this card from the graveyard, and if you tribute the Winged Dragon of Ra, or if you tribute summon the Winged Dragon of Ra this turn, its original attack and defense become the combined original attack and defense of the monsters tributed for its summon. Then it will get its bonus effect to be able to pay down to 100 life points to boost it up even more, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Triple Tactical Talents. This card is really good in the deck because if your opponent does decide to hand trap, you get 3 really powerful effects to pick from. Either draw 2 cards, take control of 1 monster that your opponent controls until the end phase, or look at your opponent's hand and then choose 1 card from it to shuffle into the deck, which is a great effect to be able to use. But the really powerful effect of this card is to take control of 1 monster that your opponent controls until the end of the turn because it doesn't target. So it's really cool to be able to give your opponent a sphere mode and then them hand trap you, you activate Triple Tactical tactical talents, take back the copy of Sphere Mode, and then use the effect of Sphere Mode to tribute itself to go in for the Winged Dragon of Ra, which is just such a cool strategy for this deck. You almost want to be hand trapped when you have those two cards in your hand, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Polymerization is just really good in this deck to be able to break your opponent's board, and it's definitely a great card to be able to just go in for game, and just a really awesome card. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing a single trap, and that's going to be 1 copy of Metal Reflect Slime. This is just in here for the deck for your copy of Reactor Slime, and it's really good because it summons itself as a trap monster that is level 10, 0 attack, and 3000 defense, which is really good because you can basically get rid of this card to go in for your copy of Egyptian God Slime, which is really good, and the only real reason we're playing this card. It's a really good one of the deck, but it is searchable by your copy of Reactor Slime, which is why we're just playing a single copy in the deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Egyptian God Slime. You only really need 2 copies of this card in this particular deck because we're not playing Extravagance anymore in this build. But this card is really good because it can be counted as 1 or 3 tributes to summon out this card. And it has a super easy summoning requirement that it must first either be fusion summon or special summon from your extra deck by attributing 1 level 10 Aqua monster with 0 attack, which is really cool because you have Guardian Slime or Metal Reflect Slime that you can actually attribute to summon out this card. We then play a single copy of Mud Dragon of the Swamp for one of our super poly targets. We then play a single copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon as another super poly target. This card is really good to put on your side of the field and comes out absolutely massive at 2800. We then play a single copy of Garura. Garura is just a really good one-up in this particular deck to be able to make because it's the best super poly target in the game. We then play a single copy of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. This card is really good if you can put 2 level 10s on your side of the field to easily make this card and then basically just burn for 2k. And you can also summon a copy of Juggernaut Lieb, which we do play a single copy of in this build to be able to OTK the opponent. It's really easy to make this card in this deck and then just OTK the opponent with the small train package we're playing. We then play a single copy of number 35, Ravenous Tarantula. This card is an insanely powerful card because we do pay all the way down to 100 life points in this deck, and has the ability all monsters you control gain attack and defense equal to the difference between your life points and your opponent's life points, which can be 7,900 if we have 100 life points and our opponent has a total of 8,000. So this card can get absolutely massive and make the Winged Dragon of Ra insanely powerful. We then play a single copy of AA Zeus. AA Zeus is just really good to board wipe in this particular deck, especially with all of the XZs that we're playing. We're then playing a single copy of Axis Code. Axis Code's really good in this particular deck to basically just pop multiple cards on the field, and it's very easy to be able to put multiple monsters on the field to make this card. We then play a single copy of Unicorn to spin stuff. This card is just really good in the deck. 1 copy of IP Masquerena to be able to make your copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn. 1 copy of Cross Sheet because we do fusion summon in this deck with Super Polymerization, which is really good, and this card is just great in this particular build. I then also play 2 copies of Alamirage. Alamirage is actually one of the best cards in the entire extra because you can normal summon out your copy of Tellus and then link it away for an Alamirage because it has less than 1,000 attack, give yourself a token, and then use Tellus Graveyard Effect to give you 2 more tokens to then tribute summon out your copy of the Winged Dragon of Ra if you have something like the True Sun God or Ancient Chant in your hand, which is really cool. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Winged Dragon of Ra deck profile or deck before, it's super fun. Like, it's just really amazing how massive you can make Ra and just how powerful the Winged Dragon of Ra actually is with all of its support cards. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.